Welcome to Sew Bliss. Today I'm going to show you how to make this envelope pillow cover. It's super quick and easy and makes a great touch in your house. So what that means, envelope pillow cover, is that it has this envelope style closure in the back. There are no buttons, no zippers, nothing like that. So it's super quick and easy. And really anyone can do it as long as you can sew a straight line. Now the supplies that you're going to need is first your fabric, and the amount that you're going to need is just going to depend on the size of the pillow that you're going to be covering. So my pillow is a 21-inch pillow, so it's squared. You can see perfectly squared on all sides. So I'm just gonna base my measurements off of that, but you can adapt it for yours. So you're gonna need to measure yours, and you're gonna wanna add 2 of your sides together. So mine is 21 inches on every side. So 21 plus 21, so we have 42. And then I'm gonna add 6 because I want mine to cover, like right back here, cover by 3 inches. So if you see this, it overlaps by 3 inches, just like that. So if you want 3 inches, then you would add 6. If you want more, go and add more as well. So I'm gonna add that, and then I'm gonna add 1 more inch because I'm gonna finish off these edges right here and make sure those look nice and clean. So that's gonna be our length. So for me, I have 49 inches long. And then for my width, all I need is 1 side. So for mine, I have the 21 inches, and then add on seam allowances. I'm gonna do 1/2 inch seam allowances. So 1/2 inch for this side and 1/2 inch for this side. So that would be 22. So my piece of fabric is gonna be 49 inches long by 22 inches wide. Now, of course, if you want it tighter on your pillow, you can make the pillow covering smaller. And if you have a different size pillow, of course you want to adapt that to your pillow. Now the only other sewing supplies that you're going to need are your basic sewing supplies. So let's get started. Once you have your fabric cut out, you're then going to take it over to your ironing board. And I'm going to be placing mine with the right side facing down. And I'm going to be along the shortest edge. So my edge that is 22 inches is right along here. I'm going to fold over about 1/4 of an inch. If you would like to measure that, you can measure that as well, but I like to just eyeball it. And I'm going to iron that down. After I have that ironed down, I'm then going to flip that same edge again and iron it down 1 more time at 1/4 of an inch. And that is just gonna encase that raw edge so you don't have any fraying or any raw edges showing. Once you have both of the shorter sides ironed, you can then take it over to your sewing machine, and you're gonna stitch right along the edge just so it closes this seam up. So it's just gonna be a straight stitch right along this edge, about a scant 1/4 inch. Once I have those raw edges stitched, then I'm gonna lay my fabric down with the right sides up, and I'm gonna fold those 2 edges over so they go over the top of each other. And now I'm going to take my seam gauge, and I'll just measure the 3 inches from the edge of where I just stitched down on one edge, and right where that ends is where I'm going to place this other piece. So that way they're overlapping by 3 inches. So I just measured that to overlap by 3 inches, and I'm making sure all the raw edges right along here will match up. So I'm gonna make sure that side works, and then I'll pull it over and do the same thing on this side because I want to make sure it's even and make sure it lines up with the edges again. So here I have 3 inches. So right about there is where I'm going to put it. And then I'll take my pins and pin this together to make sure it stays in place, so that when I take it over to my sewing machine, this doesn't move at all. And once I have that pinned, I can then go over to my sewing machine and stitch, and I'll be stitching from the bottom, and I'm just coming in 1/2 of an inch like we measured for, and stitching right across here. And that is just gonna enclose the seams right there. And what I like to do is I'm going to be doing a straight stitch at 1/2 inch, making sure I backstitch, and I'm also going to backstitch up here as well just to give that reinforcement, because I'll be pulling the pillow in and out of right here whenever I want to take this off. And then I'm going to take it over to my serger and serge it so that there's no raw edges, because my fabric tends to fray pretty well. So you could do that if you have a serger. If you don't worry about it. You could do a zigzag stitch along the edge if you want to. After you have sewn along this edge, you can then take it and turn it right sides out. And when you're doing that, you're going to want to make sure all of your corners, you really poke the corners out. And that's when you can use a point turner. You just want to make sure you don't actually poke a hole in your fabric. So just make sure that you get that corner out really nice, like that. So I'm going to do that to every corner. Just pull it right sides out. Now, once you are done turning that right sides out and pushing those corners out, you can then take your cover and take your pillow and stuff the pillow in there. And you really want to make sure it gets into the corners so that it fills those corners out and they're just not left hanging. Now, one tip, if you made the pillow cover a little bit tighter for your pillow so that it fills out much better, you might want to put something right here. It might be pulling a little bit like mine. I actually didn't have enough fabric to make all the 4 pillows I wanted to. So instead of just giving up and trying to do a different pillow or a different fabric, I am going to put a piece of Velcro right here and just have it Velcroed closed, because it obviously will fit. It looks fine still. I just need something to hold it there. So I'm going to be doing that with mine, just putting some Velcro on there. And that's a little tip for you if it looks a little bit like this. Now, if you don't have that issue, your pillow cover should look more like this, where it is covering it fully. And you have that envelope look, just like this. So this was another one of the pillows that I finished. So now you are all done with your pillow cover. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe, and stay tuned for more tutorials. I will see you guys next time. Bye!